Whoa, big dollop. Sweetness, but not too much. Super moist corn cloud with some crisp butter gooiness. We're gonna give away our secret formula and our tips, tricks, and techniques. This is ChefSteps cornbread. I grew up mostly in the Northwest, and we weren't big cornbread fanatics. And every time I met somebody who was, they'd either be of the southern savory camp or the northern super sugary dense camp. When I first tackled developing a cornbread, I wanted the best of both worlds, and I think we've done it here. We've got our corn and butter. All this is gonna go in the recipe, but we're gonna cook a lot of the wasted water out of them and concentrate the flavor. Let's have the comments come with how much butter. Just bring them on. It's a lot of butter. It's actually the perfect amount of butter. We're gonna put more butter on top. So I've got my butter here, mostly melted, that's fine. Almost a kilo of corn, it's 830 grams of corn or so. So we're gonna cook until it's like a nice noisette, you know, like hazelnut, toasty flavor. You could say, well, if you're gonna make extreme cornbread, don't you wanna use corn on the cob? You could, but fresh corn off the cob is even more unpredictable. When you see it in the store, it could be a couple days old, it could be a week old, could be a month old, you don't really know. So as soon as you pick the corn, that sugar in the kernel, and every kernel starts to turn to longer chain starch. And that's where it gets more starchy and a little more bitter and less sweet. But if you buy frozen corn, it goes right off the cob into IQF, which is individually quick frozen, and then it goes in a bag and it's super sweet. So essentially we want to caramelize the exterior and some of the juices before it totally dries out. And as it gets hotter and hotter and the moisture reduces, that tight boil turns into like a very light fry and then a hard fry. And then at the very end, before it's about to burn, it goes silent, silent. Because there's no water in it at all, and it really starts to heat up. It's essentially just boiling right now. So we have a lot of moisture that we need to get rid of, and you can see it. There's a lot of steam coming off. This is looking yummy. This has been cooking for 6-7 minutes or so. Little starches and proteins are getting in the fat, and that's what's making it foam. Our boil has turned into a fry. For these sort of things, I like a good stainless steel pan. If this is a non-stick pan, you can't see if the sugars are burning on the bottom. This isn't a good place to pause and talk to you about our donenesses. If you sweat the corn and just brighten it up to where it's cooked, and you have this bright yellow fresh corn flavor, you can move forward with the recipe with that. You can go all the way to the extreme and toast the corn, and the butter becomes a little less corn flavor though, but more rich. I like going in between. It's just this. It kind of looks like golden raisins, sultanas. Basically, you can see the doneness here. We're getting close, so I'm just going to keep going on the browning. I like this doneness. I'm going to turn this off, and from here, we're going to make cornbread. Oh my God, that smells good. Corn goes in the blender. Blend it a little bit on its own first. Start a little bit slow. It's gonna get real thick and jammy. This is cream and milk. Voila. A little more buzzy. Then we're gonna do eggs. Just go for it, all 3 eggs, it's fine. That's it. So this is the texture we're looking for, like a crazy, yummy caramelized polenta. So we could add our dry ingredients. This is isomalt, and isomalt is what's called a sugar alcohol. It's basically made from cane sugar, which is, 4 calories a gram, and you ferment it into something called a sugar alcohol, and it's now about 2 calories a gram. So a lot of folks who are diabetic, low glycemic, use sugar alcohols in a lot of baking. Kind of the core secret ingredient to getting the super moist, rich, almost like brownie-like texture without making it sweet. Let's start mixing. This is cake flour, and the reason why I'm using a fine cake flour is because I want a super moist, tender cornbread. Cornmeal, salt, baking powder, and baking soda. I have 2 kinds of sugar, cane sugar. My isomalt, usually you go dry to wet, but this was a very forgiving recipe. Sorry, you don't really have to care this much. The isomalt and the sugar, they're dry powders now, but they start to melt. This batter is ready to bake. The ChefSteps cornbread is all about maximizing corn flavor and cornbread texture. And there's a couple different strategies to achieve that. The big loaf pan, or one of these like porcelain enameled things, they're really bad at transferring heat. It dries out cornbread without getting any texture, so you'll never get anything crispy or crunchy. If you want maximum surface area, muffin pans that are nonstick work really, really well. I don't do any papers because you want direct contact with the batter. The old school big cast iron, you end up with something kind of thick. You don't have enough surface area to get a crunchy exterior texture. And all these other things are kind of in between. I really like small cast iron for this. Small means more surface area to interior, so I get more crunch to moisture. And then that it's cast iron, it's dark, it's heavy, it holds a lot of heat. These guys go in the oven, preheated. I don't put anything on them. I've got 4 hunks of butter. I'm gonna pull out very hot pans. Case in point, butter goes in. I'll give that one a little head start. Butter, butter, butter. These are hot. For these, I do 350 grams each. That's about 200. Got a little extra batter and it's scaled, so I'm just take it to the limit here. Okay, now we're going in the oven. But they'll start to have a nice dome, they'll crack open, there's gonna be a ton of texture, and they're gonna be super moist on the inside. We're gonna drop the temp to 365, start with 20 minutes, but we're probably gonna do 24, 25 minutes. Alrighty, look at these buggers. Hot! Yeah, baby. We had some baking success. All this texture, this foot that souffles around the edge, and that from a hot pan. It's ready, it's beautiful. You can pop these out and store them for later. I think they're best served in the next few minutes. Whoa, is it too hot?
No, it's so good. I love the crispness that you get on the top.
That's a good bite. It's so nutty. I feel like for this one, we've solved all those cornbread woes. See more in-depth details about all the different techniques, all the different links to even stuff like these special dark tote pans. Go to ChefSteps.com, check it out. Cut to us napping.
Subscribe to our channel and visit ChefSteps.com for more tips, recipes, guides, and tools to help you level up in the kitchen.